We're so busy trying to make other people accept us, like us, know us, approve of us, that we're not liking, disapproving, not seeing our own selves, right? So that permission is critical. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast, where we center the stories of Black women as we heal from the painful relationships with our mothers. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Arnice. What's up, Sugar Snaps? What's happening? Happy Tuesday. Listen, I have been waiting to talk to y'all. Oh my God. I've been thinking about y'all all weekend. You have no idea. Last week's episode, we talked about perfectionism and like how it's really, your feelings of unworthiness and betrayal, self-betrayal and all of those good things. And there was like so much feedback. Y'all loved that freaking episode. And that means so much to me because it lets me know that we on the same page. Okay. We on the same page. And there's so many like new people that have come to this platform, whether you're on, YouTube or you're listening, and come into this community from that episode. So I'm really grateful. It's just a testament again to when you share your story, keep it a buck, open up, say the little things in your head that make you think you're crazy out loud, how it really can help somebody while it's also helping you. And I'm saying all that to say, I don't know if I told y'all what I had planned and that I was going out of town this past weekend and what was going on. I probably didn't, because when things are like happening behind the scenes, I'm usually very quiet because it's like a little seed growing. And it's like, I don't want to speak to something before I see something of it. Right. And there are lots of reasons why I keep things under wraps until, and it has to, a lot of it has to do with my healing journey, because I used to think I had to share everything with everybody, like to get their buy-in. But anyway, that's not why I'm here. Y'all be getting me distracted fast, and I've been talking for 2 minutes. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably already know that this past weekend, I was invited to the Black Effects Podcast Festival. And I was invited because the Black Mother Wound podcast was a finalist for their Pitch Your Podcast contest. I went to the festival last year and I pitched my podcast, and I didn't think any more about it, and I went on about my business. And about 2-3 weeks ago, someone sent me an email and said that I was a finalist and wanted to know if I was going to be coming out. And I was like, well, I don't live in Atlanta anymore. I live outside of Charlotte, so it's not really convenient. I then got an email that said, if we provided flight and accommodations, let me take my glasses off. If we supply flight and accommodations, would you be able to join us? And I was like, hell yeah, that takes of course. What? Of course. Still, I'm not really understanding or clear, or maybe just not believing what this means, right? So I asked her, like, what does that mean? Like, if you win? And she was like, you'll get your podcast will be on the Black Effect Podcast Network. If you don't know, the Black Effect Podcast Network is a podcast network owned by Charlemagne the God, and it is also a subsidiary of iHeartMedia and iHeartRadio, which is a huge entertainment and media conglomerate. On Black Effect Podcast, I don't know if y'all are podcast listeners. I don't know. But if you are, some of these names you'll recognize. One, Charlemagne's podcast is on there. You've got Drink Champs, which even if you don't even watch podcasts, if you're just on social media, you're going to see something from Drink Champs. Horrible Decisions, which is now Decisions. Sarah Jakes Roberts' podcast is on there. R&B Money with Tank is on there. I could go down the list. Cam Newton's podcast is on there. Michelle from Destiny's Child, V Brown, Deeply Well podcast is on there. I'm just 85 South. These are all podcasts on the Black Effect Podcast Network. And the winner gets their podcast to be added to the lineup as a part of being syndicated. What that means is more people see your podcast. You become a part of this revenue generating machine with ads and promotions and cross pollination, and it just grows your message exponentially, right? Well, guess what? I won. I'm sorry for snapping in y'all's ear like that. I won the 2024 Picture Podcast contest this weekend in Atlanta on the motherfucking stage. It sounds really crazy to say it out loud to y'all. I feel like it's like I'm announcing it to y'all. I don't even want to. I've talked to some of my friends about it, like, because they were in Atlanta, so they knew I was coming, but nobody really knew what was happening, right? Because I was, like I said, I don't be saying much. But I really wanted to come and tell y'all because I know for sure this plays into last week's episode, right? And I'm going to get into that because, I'm always trying to drill this in. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come back with receipts this week. If you even need more receipts. But like, this is something y'all are seeing in real time, that a podcast born out of the pain that I felt from not feeling loved or even liked by my mother and deciding to talk about it publicly when we can't talk about our mamas, right? Has been chosen above all the other podcast pitches to be added to their lineup. Like, are you fucking serious? And part of me, it feels like it's really surreal because part of my trauma is not feeling like I'm seen. So it's like, oh, they saw me. They see me, right? But the other part is a huge, I don't even know if it is validation, even though I don't feel like I need the validation anymore for this work, but it is validating because when I started Black Mother Wound, the podcast and the content and the coaching and all of that stuff, that was what I made my first video probably 10 years ago about having a bad relationship with your mother. It was like a little 6-minute video on YouTube. So it's been a decade that I knew that this was a topic that needed to be discussed. And it is just fucking amazing how far we've come and that we are just getting started. Y'all know I always say that. And I'm like, I told you, we just getting started. And it has just been an incredible weekend. And I brought Vincent with me because they flew me and my son out. Yes, and put us up in a beautiful hotel. And it has just been like a full circle moment. And at the same time, I know we're still just getting started. So the full circle moment probably hasn't even fully here. This is like one of the full circle moments, but it's going to be more full circles coming, right? And I think this plays into the content that I had last week, the episode about how you just have to start and you have to give it time. Like I said, my first video was a decade ago talking about this, right? Go back to my YouTube and look at my videos. I'm pretty sure it's still public. You're going to see me in my homegirl's backyard talking about this, right? While me and my son sleeping on her couch because we don't have nowhere to live. This was right before we went into the homeless shelter. Wasn't a shelter, went to the homeless program. Let me clarify. That I was still talking about this. And so I'm like, what do I want to talk about? Do I want to tell y'all more about this weekend? I'm going to put a clip up. If this works and you're on YouTube, you'll see a clip come up on the screen. Hopefully that happens. If you're in the audio, you'll just hear, them announcing my name.
All right, y'all, next we have the Black Mother Wound podcast, hosted by Jennifer Arnee. This podcast digs deep into the unique challenges faced by Black women in their relationships with their mothers. Y'all, bring it to the stage, Jennifer Arnee! I didn't even realize the synergy. We have the father-son podcast, the mother's podcast, and now, last but not least, is I Have an App Idea. The podcast is hosted by Amanda Spann, where aspiring, emerging, and established founders share their journey through app entrepreneurship. With AI set to replace a bunch of jobs in the near future, we already know why we need this show. Let's welcome Amanda to the stage. Come on, Amanda, y'all give it up. Y'all, with so many amazing pictures submitted over the last 3 years, it was so difficult for Black Effect to narrow this down. But with further delay, please join us in congratulating the creators of, tell them, Andy, who won? The Black Mother Womb podcast. She'll be joining the Black Effect family. Do you want to come and talk to the cousins out there? Hi. Now you're a podcaster. You done do your show.
Thank you. This topic is so personal to me because it's about the relationship with my mother, and I always felt like I was alone. And I was like, the only way you can not feel alone is to share. And I have become a part of this wonderful community of Black women who are able to center their stories, heal, and this is like it's on steroids. Yeah.
Congratulations, Amanda. And congratulations, y'all go check out Black Mother Womb Podcast, I Have an App Podcast, and Black Men Who Been. Y'all make sure y'all support all of these podcasts, and thank you guys. And Nissan, thank you. You can say thank you, Nissan.
Thank you so much.
This really is for all of us. And no matter what, let me stop and say thank you, because you guys are the ones who showed up, and like how I told y'all, like when you all heard me, you're like, oh, I thought I was crazy. I'm not crazy. You all coming to this community let me know I wasn't crazy and that I wasn't by myself, and that this was something that was needed and necessary, and your feedback and your encouragement and your support has just, I am not gonna cry, has meant so much to me, because I've never had my own community before. Like I've never felt like I belonged before. And it's so crazy that the way that I came to have belonging with a group and a community is through this thing that's so deeply impersonal, personal, that makes us feel like outsiders. So it's like when all the outsiders get together, we're not outsiders anymore, right? We have a space. And you all just, I'm really proud of everything that we have done and that you all are doing, and that it matters and that it means something, and that we are a part of, it's like stoking a flame. It's like smoke, and then it's like a wildfire that is brewing, because you know how I feel. I feel all Black women have a Black mother wound in some shape or form, and that us being able to communicate and talk about it openly and have resources to heal and opportunities to commune with each other is going to change everything for everybody, because when Black women heal, everybody heals. And having the opportunity to have my podcast be seen and heard by more people, it's just a no-brainer. And I'm just so freaking thankful. I'm so thankful to the people that selected me. I'm so thankful to Black Effect and iHeart and Nissan, who are the sponsors. Everyone who's there amplifying Black voices, amplifying Black women's voices, amplifying the little girl in us, amplifying her voice, right? And so, yeah, it's just fucking amazing. Okay. I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot more anything else to tell you about it right now. I was told that I'll be getting some emails this week to get the ball rolling. And when I know more and when I can share more, I will. You know it, because I can't hold water. I'm going to tell it when I can tell it. But it's just been a really amazing time. And it's not just for me, it is for all of us. And I'm about to switch into a teacher mode, because I want to use this as an example and kind of piggyback off of last week's episode, which we talked about perfectionism. And this week I want to talk about permission, right? And like I always say, the Black mother wound is about a lack of autonomy, having a lack of autonomy mentally, emotional, physically, financially, emotionally, right? And when you lack autonomy, you are constantly looking for the permission from someone else. That's what acceptance is. It's permission, right? You're looking for somebody to say, it's okay to do that, right? Permission also tells you that it's safe to do it. That's why I'm always talking to y'all about creating safety within yourself, because once you feel safe, that is like, oh, I can give myself permission to do it, right? That is where autonomy and authority lie. And if you're working on this piece around not feeling worthy enough and not being good enough, and you're calling it perfectionism, and it's stunting you in your progress, I want to just add a little more to that. And that is understanding that you have to start giving yourself permission to do it poorly, right? Because he's like, oh, I'm just going to do it. It's like, but there has to be a level of permission there. There has to be a level of permission to make a mistake, to make a mess. There has to be a permission to allow your voice to be heard. And the only way you can give yourself permission is if you have authority over yourself. And the only way you can have authority over yourself is by building a relationship with yourself. Because I'm not going to say a relationship, a healthy, trusting relationship with yourself, because the little girl in you has to buy in. She has to believe you. She has to know that you'll keep her safe. She has to trust you. She has to know you have her best interest at heart. And, you know, for the most part, she has known and has been correct. No one has had her best interest at heart. You know what I mean? We haven't, because we haven't known how, because it's like, I want someone else to tell me it's okay. We're so busy trying to make other people accept us, like us, know us, approve of us, that we're not liking, disapproving, not seeing our own selves, right? So that permission is critical. It's critical. And somebody sent me an email this past week, and they had seen this last week's episode, and they were saying, they've been struggling with not feeling worthy, calling it perfectionism, and they're really ready to get going. And I think they want to start something on YouTube. And their question to me was, what kind of microphone do I use? And you might be listening or watching today. And I just want to tell you this with all love. I'm not going to email you back, because it doesn't matter what kind of microphone I use. The microphone has nothing to do with it. If you were listening last week and you've been listening, I started this with no microphone. The microphone doesn't matter. And I'm just using what I do as an example in her email as an example. There's no shade to you because I want you to understand this, because there's a piece where there's some breakthrough that needs to happen, right? It doesn't matter what kind of camera I use. It doesn't matter what kind of microphone I use. What matters is, are you doing what you can right now? Right? Where are you not giving yourself permission? Because you're waiting on the perfect microphone, then you're telling yourself, oh, you don't have permission to do it until you have the microphone, because it won't be good enough, right? Also, if you've been watching, you can see the name of the microphone right here. But I don't even want you to see that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you need good audio, but if you ain't got nothing good coming out of your mouth, audio won't matter. Follow Dodash on YouTube. Dough dash. She don't use no microphone. And she probably close to 100,000 subscribers right now. In her car, no makeup, hair not done, no microphone. On her phone, talking. She gave herself permission. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. And it starts with the small things. I'm always going to remind you of like where this started, because it still is small. Like I'm still recording in my spare bedroom, right? But I have been able to accomplish some amazing things over the last 4 years due to my healing journey that has helped me build a loving, healthy, trusting relationship with myself, so I can give myself permission to do things I've never done before, to make mistakes, to ask for help. And that is what I need you to focus on. Don't focus on where I am now. Focus on this is what I want you to focus on. And I don't even want you to look at like your big dreams right now. I don't even want you to look at your big dreams. I want you to look at your everyday life that you live. And I want you to look at what your needs are right now. Because some of you are trying to jump over, because that's what I did, trying to jump over my needs to build my big dream. Because when I build my big dream, then I'll have everything I need. And it was like, no, first you have to build safety within your own life. You have to build mental, emotional, physical safety and financial safety within your own life before you start jumping over thinking there's something that can fix it. Oh, once I make it big, it'll fix all these problems. It shall not. It will not. Your work is healing work. And the more you heal, the more your life will naturally change and grow and evolve. But I want you to look at the everyday places in your life where you are saying no. So, like, what's the opposite of permission? The opposite of permission is no. Your little girl is asking for something and you're saying no. Where are you saying no to your inner little girl? What is the thing that she wants to do, wants to try, right? And it could be something creative. You know, I'm an artist, so I'm always thinking about coloring and playing and whatever the thing is, right? Or is it about a place where you need to have more discipline, or you need to ask for help, or you need to show up, or you need to get something done, right? But you're telling yourself no because you don't you're waiting for someone else to say that it's okay, right? Where are those things? I want you to start giving yourself permission in those areas. And you buffer the permission with, I will keep you safe. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Right? When you start to give yourself permission and you see the impact of that, that's where you get more confidence. That's where you start to grow and learn and become better. Do not use this work as I almost want to say like a selfish catalyst. Like you're trying to get somewhere. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to heal my mother wound so I could get there. I'm healing my mother wound so I don't feel like a piece of shit. And then anything that grows out of that is a bonus, right? Yes, I have dreams. I have things that I want to accomplish. Y'all know that. But the primary and secondary reason I do this work, one is so I don't feel like shit and I don't make my son feel like shit. That's enough. If nothing else happens, to know that I can not be riddled with anxiety and guilt and shame, and I can raise a child who has a healthy self-esteem, healthy sense of self-worth, knows that he is somebody just because, what else is better than that, right? So I want you to kind of, whatever you're doing with perfectionism, which is, I'm still using that word because I know it's what y'all relate to. But if you are, as you work on building up your worthiness and your self acceptance, you will have to take the reins and enact authority over your life and giving yourself permission. You will have to. It will not be somebody else is going to say that is good enough or it's okay. By the time people start saying that, I want it not to be really that important. People recognizing my podcast over the weekend was great, but I had already fucking recognized it. I already know, like, if it didn't happen then, it was just going to happen at another time. It wasn't like, oh, no, now I'm going to go back home and, it's lost. No, that's why in a way I'm excited. And in another way, I'm like, it's business as usual because I already gave myself permission to do this. Already gave myself permission to be great at this. Already gave myself permission to let this grow. Do you understand? And it has to be a you. I don't want to say you versus everybody else, but it is a you versus you. It is the old you versus the new you. And the old you has given all of her power away in hopes that someone else will keep her safe. Now, the issue y'all gonna have with giving yourself permission is being like holding yourself accountable. So many people, you don't want the authority because with the authority comes the responsibility and accountability, and you don't want to have to deal with that because you're tired and you're scared and it brings up so many things for you. I don't care. You have to do it. Nobody's coming to save you. No one, not even me. Nobody's coming to save you, right? No one. Look at me. Whoever you thinking about, whatever you're thinking about, however it's coming to your mind, they're not. Nope, not them either. No, not them. No, not them either. Nope, nope, can't do it. You are the hero of your life, of your story. But if you don't give yourself permission to expand, to grow, if you don't give yourself permission to heal, because some of you are even holding back in your healing because you know if I heal this thing, this relationship over here is going to change. My life is going to change this way. Who will I be if I heal? So I don't want to really give myself permission to heal because what if it all falls apart and I can't deal with whatever happens next? Right? That's why you have to let her know you are going to keep her fucking safe. This is a brutal job because you have to do whatever it takes to keep her safe. Like, period. It is so selfish of you to think of your, and I know I hate to say it like this, but I'm saying it like it's two people, the adult version of you and the child version of you, because y'all know that's how I be getting down. It is so selfish of you to concern yourself with the thoughts of others when she is struggling, when she's basically living in an emotional closet, dark, afraid, alone, scared, and you worried about how Bobby John and Tina gonna feel about something, how you gonna look to others. You're going to have to let all of that go. And that comes with that permission. But you're going to have to stand in it. You have to. And you need to get up to speed with it as soon as possible. That's why I'm saying start with smaller things, build your confidence, let you know, oh, I can trust myself, and then keep moving on to the bigger things in your life until you have a rhythm of it, right? You're not turning into a new person overnight. It's like slow, steady changes. Inch by inch is a cinch. But you got to start now, and there's got to be real things that you're doing, right? That's all I got for y'all today. I love you. Listen, I'll be back next week. This is the work. I feel like this year we are really digging into applicable things. Like we're kind of starting to move away from, you know, all the things that hurt us, all the ways our mother hurt us, and the way that shows up. And like, now what the fuck are you going to do about it? Because that's really where I need you to be. Okay. I love you, love you, love you, love you dearly. Be good to yourself. I will see you next week. I'm so excited for us. Thank you for being in this community, and I will see you later. Bye.